welcome. Over the Top Podcast. It's your boy HD here with the Over the Top Podcast crew. Hey guys, again, I just want to take just a small moment to thank everybody for listening to us on WDJY 99.1 FM. We continue to try to bring good topics, good information. Also, you can find us on our YouTube page, Over the Top Podcast YouTube. Also, you can find us on Facebook Over the Top Podcast page. Now we got a lot of interesting takes on that Facebook page, but come join the clan, come join the party. Who we got in the house tonight? Playmaker G, what's going on with you, sir?
Hey man, how you doing today? I'm feeling great.
I'm incredible. We also got Q. What's going on, Q?
I am not in uniform.
This is true, sir, but that's okay.
That's okay. And also, I will hit you with a chair. This is probably outdated by the time this makes it on the air, but it don't matter. You get hit with a chair.
Some things, sir, will never be outdated. It'll be etched in Black history going from this point on. RJ, what's the deal, babe?
Doing good, man. It's hot, man. It's a hot day today, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And last but definitely not least, the lady of the crew. Welcome back, but we had a hard time last time you wasn't here. But
let me tell y'all.
T, what's the word? T, what's the word?
I appreciate y'all. Y'all did a good job. I'm gonna just say that.
The meat and potatoes there, but you did maybe the little seasoning, we got the meat potatoes.
All the seasoning was missing. All the seasoning.
Little seasoning and no hands there. But we're back. So let's jump into this thing, guys. What's going on with this Ask Toya?
So tonight we have an Ask Toya where we're going to listen first to a video from social media, and then I will read you the question.
Fight for me, great, because I love you. I never wanted to not be with you. I never wanted to be without you. I want to do life with you. But in the process of all this happening, you a liar. You got you a and I had to hear from this what y'all relationship was about. Nah, we not no more. I want to see other people. You act like you're the only fucker in this relationship that other people want to. No, no. Let's be real. So what we gonna do is we gonna stay together. We gonna have a beautiful life together for the rest of our lives. We gonna continue getting money together. We gonna continue raising this little girl together. We gonna have a fabulous home. We're gonna love and take care of each other. But I'm gonna other people, and I hope you do too.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
And we will never ever talk about it. Don't bring me no babies. Don't bring me no diseases. But we gonna do what we want to do outside this house because to this point it has worked.
So it says, Dear Toya, this video has been going around social media and I wanted to get your opinion on it. I'm 43 years old and my husband and I have been married for 16 years. And I recently got a call from the other woman. At first, I was ready to call it quits. And once the smoke settled, I thought about all the years we have and our children. Then this video started coming up on my timeline. And I thought maybe this could work. I just wanted a fresh opinion. Signed, Tired Wife. So.
Wow. Playmaker.
Why you want to start with me, man?
Now you the playmaker. You the playmaker. We get this thing moving. We get this thing moving.
You know what? This is very interesting, and I have mixed emotions. And the first thing I'll say is that the traditional marriage is not the norm for everybody. So I think whatever you and your partner inside the marriage come up with is what y'all come up with. It may not apply to everybody, it may not be for everybody, but if you and your partner sit down and talk about what y'all want to do, and that comes up and that's how y'all want to do it, so be it. That's between you and your partner.
Q.
I've had a couple of weeks to think on this video. Well, first to answer the Ask Toya, it's not for everybody. You doing it 16 years in a game, you either try counseling first, try marriage counseling first before you just open that door. About the video, I know the whole topic was can an open marriage work? That's not what that video is about. That video is a man cheating and a woman saying, well, if you're going to cheat, I'm going to cheat. That's not an open marriage. That's not what an open marriage is. Not cheating. It is because it is you can do it, I can do it, but we both know. Saying, hey, you can do it, I can do it, we won't talk about that. No, she's doing that out of spite. You can't open marriage out of spite, because open marriage out of spite never works in the first place.
Can't open marriage out of spite.
No, you can't do that. You kicking the door down. You gotta ease the door open.
Yes.
All right, Jay, what's your thoughts, man?
Hey, man. Hey, you know what? Mine is X-rated, so I'm struggling with how to say this.
What's going on tonight?
I keep thinking about what Kevin Hart said.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
He said, you don't want to see homeboy smashing the hell out of your woman. So, and reflecting on that moment and what he said, like the dude pushed for the open relationship and then his wife kind of stepped out. Now, in the video, I think a lot of times people don't really pay attention to what was said in that video, but you can hear the apprehension in the husband's voice or the guy's voice. And I think, we've all been in situations where we may not have counted up the cost. So I would suggest to him and her and the couple in the Ask Toya to really reflect upon what it is they truly want, and make an adult decision. You have to do what works for you. So for me, I don't know to say that I will put myself in that situation, hopefully. But if I did, I would have to take the daggone bitter with the sweet, as my grandfather would say. So dude need to get his mind right and do right, or be respectful of what his wife is saying. And right, like you said, she's doing it out of spite. But in all true honesty, man, you get what you get in those situations. So for me, keep your dick in your pants.
All righty. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I like you said,
that's G-rated, but it's the truth.
Well, yeah, it's the truth. Is it true?
I mean,
is it true? So the video was a lot of anger. That was a lot of spite. That was a lot of emotion. That was a lot of anger. That was a lot of you do you, I do me. So now that becomes a financial contract versus a relationship. That I don't think you enter it that way if you're gonna do it. I think in that situation, he probably better off, trying to work it out in another direction than what she talking. Because she's talking, hey, I'm gonna do me. We ain't doing nothing, but you gonna still take care of everything, but we ain't gonna be happy. One thing about relationships, guys, if you're not gonna be happy in a relationship, why do it? So I guess do whatever make you happy.
How much time we have left in this segment?
I mean, give me a minute. I don't know. do whatever.
And most times when you catch your partner cheating, you leave.
That's not true. That is not true.
You should leave.
You've
never
been married before. You've never been married before.
If
this is an everyday relationship, if I'm just dating you, then yes, I leave.
Right.
But talking about in this couple, we're talking about 16 years in. I don't know how much this woman had invested in her relationship, but like you said, that was hurt. Not only was it hurt, it was anger. It's a lot of emotions going on there. She was hurt. Like I felt her pain. I've been where she's been. So I get what she's saying. Do I agree? No. But she pointed out everything. She said, look, I got to hear from this chick what type of relationship you and her have. Mm-hmm. So that's the first hurt right there. This is another woman that called me and told me about my husband that I've probably been married to for a long time. And then she said, you're not the only one in this relationship who wants to get, who people want to do stuff to. That's me talking clean.
So there you go.
What I was trying to say,
what she told him there was, I have had opportunity after opportunity, chance after chance to get this gut run up into, but no, I have kept to these vows, and you haven't.
So, but here's the thing: if she, now I was about to say, if she knew that, why didn't she? Because she has morals that she stands on, which I commend her for having morals to stand on.
Yes,
Why I
and
don't
so
commend,
she's
what I
just
don't
telling
commend
him.
is,
But what I'm saying is, she's just telling him this is how she broke it down to him, and you heard him in the background saying, "Well, damn,
Yep.
yes," because men don't want to hear stuff. They out there doing stuff. Men don't want to know their wife out there getting their gut sprayed up into by another man. Not
Hey
at all.
man,
but
you know, it was a
what I was
deep
gonna, what I was
concept.
gonna say was,
It's a
what
deep
the angle I was gonna
concept.
take it, the angle I was gonna take it from was, if she knew she could do that, then she would have left. I'm talking about the woman in the video, not the woman on the ass toy. I'm
Yeah,
specifically the woman in the video.
she probably would have left. She probably would have left if she knew from the get how he was. But now they done invested years, and they seem like that. She looks like an older woman. They done invested years with each other, and they have children. So she said, "We're gonna raise these children. We're gonna build this legacy, make this money. But you gonna do what you want to do, and I
That's
want
gonna
to,
bring it up.
and we're gonna
Hey,
enjoy."
G got a look on his face
That's
is
exactly
killing
what
me.
I was about to bring it up. If that woman thinks, if the man that the baby daddy, if that woman thinks the baby daddy who constantly cheats on her is gonna be a good role model for the kids she got growing up.
Well, it's not the role model.
It's not the role model.
It's the provider.
Your parenting and
And
your
she-
relationship are two different things. The way you parent.
If she wanted to leave, she could. But I question: does she know if she can provide for herself and her kids off whatever that woman's doing in the
That
video?
might be this. She said we're gonna make this money together. So obviously they've built a happy home with each other. I think this is a lot of hurt.
I think if
Hold
that
on,
woman
go
could
ahead,
get the
Ron.
money
Go ahead,
on
let
her
Ron get in
own,
there.
then she wouldn't. If that woman could get money on her own and provide for her kids, she would have left. But I'm guessing she can't, which is why she's saying, you know what? Instead of leaving and putting you on child support, which she also could do, she says she's gonna tough it out and get
Okay,
revenge.
So many women do not
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead,
Hey,
Ron.
can I say something, man? Like in real time, I work with a family, right? And the husband is currently away, he's incarcerated. And the mother said something one day, even though they're not having the best relationship at this time, she said something that was really deep to me and it's profound. She said, I didn't sign up to do this thing by myself. So effectively, a lot of times parents, for better or for worse, look for the other party to be there. So all y'all know my wife. My wife real strong, but she'll suck when it comes to my kids. And so, yes, she is. She don't let nobody get over her, but them kids do. You understand what I'm saying? And if she'll fight a man tooth and nail about anything you do to them. But with them kids, she let them get by with certain things. She will not. And I think where we've struck is an uneasy balance at points in times of being able to parent at the same time. She don't mind letting me. Matter of fact, she loved for me to be the bad guy in most of the situations when we deal with our children. And parents learn to strike a functional balance. That's our dynamic. That's not everybody else's, but Q. I'm going to teach you in the future. When you get your significant other, your dynamic may be different from your parents. Your dynamic may be different between them minds and Toya's or playmakers and his significant other. But what's going to effectively happen is you, in terms of being in a relationship, have to find your own voices and make sure that it works for you guys. Period, point blank. And the outside be damned. I hate to say that, but that's the truth.
Tell your last word.
The one thing I will say.
Hold on. Who got that? Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead, Playmaker.
I said the same thing that Ron said, and y'all looked at me like I'm crazy.
Go ahead, Q. Go ahead, Q.
I take everything Ron said, I take that in. But I will say to whoever I marry or whoever I'm in a relationship with, If you cheat on me, there ain't no get back, ain't no nothing. Either one of my family members, one of my women family members, will take a chair to your head.
Toya, last word, Toya.
I ain't gonna touch you, but I got
for
mother
me-
and sister that might.
Okay,
For
last word,
me,
T.
this situation would not work because it just seems like a clusterfuck waiting to happen. Everything's gonna go wrong. You're gonna be constantly worried about who he with, who he with, what he doing. He gonna be worried about who you with, what you doing. Either talk it out, fix it, or let it go. And that's
This radio show is rated PG-13.
Where can they find you at, Toya?
You can catch me at Ask Toya, TOIA74@gmail.com. Ask Toya on Facebook, TOIAEL on TikTok. You can DM me. Y'all, please stop DMing me your BS too. I am not TikTok dating. Get out of here.
Great stuff, great stuff. Hey guys, as we continue our look at colorism, we'll take another look at colorism and and racial bias. So a study was conducted in 1940, known as the Dahl test. What it shows the bias even with children have towards a certain skin color. Psychologists Kenneth and Mamie Clark used the same Dahl test in a different skin color to test racial perception of children between the ages of 3 and 7. Now, overall, children preferred the white doll over the black doll, even when, as far as describe the white doll as being better and pretty, and the black doll being bad and ugly. Given the period of time of the experiment, racial prejudice was more widely accepted. However, there are still instances in today's where prejudice are still prevalent. There have been many studies conducted in today which most children still respond the same way than they did in the 1940s. Even children of color pointed the black doll and asked which doll is uglier or bad, even though they themselves are the same color. All right, Jim, let's start with you. Is colorism a form of self-hate?
The execution of self-hate is directly related to the plausality or how we view society. A lot of how we see society in our community is from a Eurocentric standpoint. However, there are people who openly execute or work within inside that space and say things on a consistent basis, i.e. Charlemagne the God. He always talks about DJ Envy with the beige rage and things of that nature. The issue with colorism in our culture and our community, to me, is not as profound as it once was, to me. However, it is impactful in the way that we think. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go a different direction. Colorism is a mentality. Because you always respect the dark-skinned kid to be more aggressive, more physical, more nasty, so to speak. And so that's a mental programming that's done by the imagery that we see in Hollywood. So to me, that's the concept. And people who stand on that concept, two people that I think about and I look at, and I wrote their names down today when I was looking at the questions, were Candace Owens and Clarence Thomas. Both of them are darker-skinned human beings. However, they represent, no disrespect to anybody, the white power structure. And they implement a lot of their programs and their thought processes by the things that they say. So when I think about colorism as self-hate, Clarence Thomas is a self-hater. Candace Owens is a self-hater. And there's a number of people within inside of our society and culture who don't really effectively understand that they hate themselves. I have a constant debate with one of my good friends, and I love him. But I told him the other day, I said, bro, you got Stockholm syndrome. You really, truly do not understand that we are under attack at all times. But you have to formulate a mentality to support you being present and popular and working in this structure. So for me, colorism is a form of self-hate. But some of us have to convince ourselves that this is a pleasant place for us to be.
Playman, I'm coming with you. I know I was script early, but I'm coming with you at this. So doing your research, doing your research of colorism, did you come to that same conclusion, or do you believe that after the research is a form of self hate, or is something else going on there?
I think self-hate is a strong word. I think some people do look in the mirror and say, you know what, they don't like their upbringing, their culture, their skin, all of that kind of stuff. And if you fall into that category, I would say yes. But I don't think everybody falls into that same category. So I can't say that everyone that is impacted by colorism is part of self-hate. I don't think it's that cut and dry.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to get your take on it. T, how do you think today's society view colorism as an issue?
The same way they always have. It's been the same. I think now it's different because the power system is set up the same. Even in marriage, it's a statistic that says that dark-skinned women are less likely to be married than lighter-skinned women. Difference in pay between dark and light-skinned men in the workforce is like the difference in pay between white and blacks. Darker women are given longer prison sentences than light-skinned women. And the discrimination, it just keeps going on and on amongst the two. So it's about the same.
Okay, okay. Good. Q, I'm gonna come with you with this one, man. Do you think that different like companies uses colorisms to market their product to increase their revenue? Do you think that they'll choose more of the light skin fair versus the dark skin to make more money? What's your thoughts on that?
They do, but I know it's talking about colorism, but for that in particular, they more so attack their people's insecurities about how they look, especially when it comes to, say, women and makeup. For example, they know that there's a certain demographic of dark skinned women who wants to look more light skinned, so they will put a light skinned woman on everything. And they also know that sometimes it's vice versa. So I say it's more so attacking people's insecurities, whether it's colorism, whether it's you're big, whether it's you're small, whether it's you're tall, short. Companies attack companies that need people to buy things from them, makeup, clothing, drinks. They attack what people are insecure about or what people want the most.
Right? Is that good marketing business, or is that a slight? Is it good business to be to appeal to a certain demographic, or is that pandering to a different subset? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm trying to express as far as money and
I mean, you're going in the right direction. I'm gonna tell you, this is a broad reaching subject, because if you think about it, a lot of it has to do with a pathology. And what I mean by pathology is a way of thinking. Like culturally speaking, in our society, I hate to say this, but a lot of what's white is right? So if you don't identify with the mainstream structure of what society and culture states is status quo or the working margin, what you essentially do is you deviate from that. And a deviation from that is your skin color. So here's the thing that's really deep about America, and most people don't even really understand that. And that's what's really crazy about a DeSantis run for president. A little off topic, but it's going to be on topic. I'm going to bring it on home. Most people that come to America want to assimilate. We can't. We're always going to effectively stand out, light or dark. We're going to stand out wherever we go. However, effectively, some other cultures like the Hispanic culture, the Asian culture, they come in and they embrace aspects of the Eurocentric mindset, and they apply it and sprinkle it in with their own culture and make it work for them. However, for democracy to work, for free market economy to work, you always have to have a permanent underclass. So colorism, i.e. Willie Lynch, or the impression of taking lighting pitted against dark, or even white against black in the truest sense. Because I'm gonna go back to that statement. I said the first slave rebellion in America was black and whites, indentured servants, rebelling against the power structure. So essentially, those titles are put in place to keep us deviated and separated from one another, and to keep that pathology working. If we're divided, or if we're constantly busy trying to provide for ourselves, are we causing any disruption to the power structure? Are we changing any of the dynamics in our community? So if we're effectively looking at each other and the concept of how we view ourselves is negative, then what are we going to express? And that's one of the things that bothers me, man. My friend he's a college educated, went to Southern State with us, Toya. He says it's always us. Man, bruh, stop. It's not always us. A lot of what we've learned from where? The power structure. A lot of these environments that have been created are created from the power structure. We've internalized the colorism and the paper bag test and all those things and made it a part of our culture when it shouldn't have been. And what we have to do is wake up out of that mindset and lock more in on, okay, how can we develop an economic platform, love one another, and bring our communities together and raise solid families? That's what we need to worry about. All the other stuff doesn't matter. But that's just me.
Any response? T, you want to jump in there right quick?
No, I agree with everything he said.
Playmaker? Is he, you want to jump in there right?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, you good over there? Okay. Yeah, okay. We'll keep pushing then, guys. Well, research, yeah. Oh, can he connect to the audio? So I'm going with his audio. I don't know why he connect. Okay. Research from a Yale professor, Walter Gilliam, showed 135 educators of video children sitting in the classroom setting. Each video had a black boy and black girl, and a white boy and a white girl. And the teacher was told the following. Let's play the clip.
Take a look at these 4 kids. These preschool teachers watched a video of them playing for a 2016 study. The study asked them to press the enter key every time they saw a behavior that could become a potential challenge. But the thing about the study is it's kind of deceptive. There's actually no misbehavior in the video. The kids are actors, and the researchers were using eye tracking software because what they really wanted to know was when teachers expect misbehavior, who are they watching? The study found that both white and black teachers spent more time gazing at black boys than other children. Black boys make up less than a quarter of the nation's preschoolers, but more than 40% of preschool suspensions. The study's lead researcher told the Washington Post that implicit biases don't begin with black men and police. They begin with black preschoolers and their teachers, if not earlier.
Playmaker, we back with you. Something wrong with Q's audio. It said connecting to audio, so I don't know what's going on with his audio.
You should be able to hear me fine. I didn't touch anything.
Okay, I asked you a question. I didn't know you responded. I didn't know you heard me. So, but I'll make sure you're okay. Playmaker, would you classify this, what you saw in the clip, as another form of colorism? Yes and no, and why?
So in researching that video, they don't call it colorism. What they call it is implicit bias. And they actually teach this in a lot of trainings in different educational programs. And what the difference between the two, if you go by the JRSA, which is the Justice Research and Statistical Association, it distinguished the two by saying that implicit bias is associated by individuals in the unconscious state of mind. Excuse me. That means that the individual is likely not even aware of the bias that they're doing. It's more of a conditioning effect, meaning that if you are a teacher and you teach for 30 years and you always have issues with Black students, then subconsciously, when you are looking for negative behavior, you look at the Black students. I still look at it as discrimination. I still look at it as racism. But if you look at the clinical term for it, it is implicit bias. And they said everybody has implicit bias, and they have programs that they're trying to use this study to correct those bias within our school systems.
Toy, I'm coming with you with this. If what Gary is telling is true, how do we get around it? How do we work out with our teachers and not have those biases? I mean, I know your girls are still in grade school, and I know they probably go through a lot of challenges. So what's some things how do we get around it, or what can we do to get around it?
Well, like Gary said, they're trying to figure out how to get around it. They're pointing it out. So that's a start that this is what happens. This is how you've been conditioned over the years. And so you automatically go to this student. It's just like when they say that more little Black girls are the highest suspended in elementary schools, not junior high, but elementary schools. And so that's a bias too, because we're suspending dark-skinned girls because we automatically think they're aggressive, rough, and troublemakers. They've been embedded into our systems. It's like somebody put a computer chip in us and said, this is what it's going to be. And it's lasted that way for over 400 years. So you have to keep doing these studies and showing this, and then have trainings. You have to untrain some people. When you're getting these new teachers in, and they're starting off in elementary school, they come in fresh. They're blank boards. And then you have the older teachers putting stuff on the boards that don't need to be on the boards because of that bias. So you have to have these type of trainings and understand it in the system. The system's not going to change unless we put our feet down too and get together to change the system for our kids.
Say it again for people in the back.
It's not going to change if we don't get it together and put our feet down and stand for our children.
Right, I'm going to RJ. I know you're in the mental health field. What are some of the diversity trainings, or what are some of the diversity things out there that can help our teachers, not just teachers, anybody that dealing with the public on a regular basis? What are some of the tools and techniques?
There are always things that they talk about in terms of transition into the field, right? Sam just had a real conversation with me about pronouns, and a peer of his having a circumstance, and I just pulled from my training, and a lot of times in those trainings, what they talk to you about is effectively understanding that each person is human and has a right to their feelings and how they perceive a thing. But I treat people by the golden rule: do unto others as I wish them to do unto me. And so I love the person. I'm always leading in love, and I manage it that way. That's what helps me navigate it. However, everybody's not going to always be that same way. But there are trainings that they do. They teach us to work of pronouns, motivational interviewing, aspects of things to help us develop a clarity as to when we go into a home to look for functionality and not necessarily neatness, so to speak. Home can be wholly functional. It look trash to us, but for them it's functioning. And so what we have to understand is we have to look at people in layers and examine them, and also support the knowledge base in a community setting. I know, like Gary works in corporate America, so I know y'all do cultural competency in your work at some point in time. Toya, I'm quite sure when you start talking about your staff, y'all do aspects of cultural competency, because the support, everybody is not going to be a monolith. You're going to have all different types of people, all different types of cultures.
Especially
so what we have to learn,
yes.
Right. And so what we have to do, we have to learn how to bring an open mindset to working with all peoples, and make sure that we're in a mind space to be welcoming, yet loving, but at the same time firm when needed.
Q, I'm coming with this right quick. I know a little off script again, but I'm coming with you with this question, sir. Do you think colorism is only subjected to the Black culture, or any other race can experience colorism?
It is to every race, even the Caucasians. Even if Hispanics, you see dark skin Hispanic, you see light skin Hispanic, they go through the same thing. The Asian community, they go through the same thing. The Africans, I'm pretty sure they go through the same things. The Caucasians, once you get a little bit of there's Caucasian women who want a tan so they look darker. One of my favorite SpongeBob quotes is the daughter wanted someone who's long, tan, and handsome. She wasn't talking about someone who was black. So yeah,
Okay.
colorism is in every race.
Gotcha. Right. So, go ahead.
That's true.
So we continue. So we also got some blacks that found success and believe that they are accepted by other communities. They disassociate themselves with the black race. One of the famous signs, I'm not famous. The famous sign, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Yeah, I'm going to switch up a little bit. If a black person obtains fame and fortune and disassociate themselves from the culture, does that fall under the umbrella of colorism or something else?
You know, that's very interesting, because when we talk about colorism, we're talking more about skin color. And when we talk about status, that's not necessarily skin color. But I do think that is something else. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It is, I mean, if you want to put it in the category of self-hate, you could probably lean toward that way. Or you could just look at it as, once somebody obtain success, they want to be around other successful or similar people. I think it's a very thin line and a lot of different avenues to kind of dissect with that one.
T, does colorism impact economics and opportunity?
Yes, because like I said before, dark-skinned women get hired less than light-skinned women. Dark-skinned women get paid less than light-skinned women. And men too, as far as they get paid less than their white counterpart. But then if they go in and they're light skinned, they get paid more than a dark skinned person, because dark skin is considered lazy. We don't work as hard. We strong, got them strong backs, them big bucks, but we're aggressive and lazy basically. So you can't get paid. It hurts us not only economically, but it hurts us in every way, mentally, because dark-skinned women are considered more stronger. Health-wise, we get treated differently. We have health disparities, mental disparities, economic disparities. It is all throughout our being.
Now, that's actually right, though. In all true honesty, like, I seen something that was speaking about cats, and they say that darker cats or black cats or cats that maintain their pigmentation or that darker skin color are basically closer to the proper gene pool. So start looking at the darker people or the darker skinned folks. Essentially, your melanin kind of separates you from that of other people. And your exposure to the sun and your ability to synthesize it, honestly, should be at a higher level than that of us that are a little bit more fair skinned like me.
That's true, because
I've actually burnt. I actually burned maybe about 2 years ago.
I burned
once.
So, but and people be like, "You burned?" I burned, but also because of my lupus, I burned. But so I don't know if it's just that I burned because of my lupus or I just burned. I've been that way all my life. I've always had to wear a high sense.
Did your daddy burn?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
It sounds right. Get your daddy burn.
Your daddy burn what?
What
I was saying is,
I'm just talking about skin, skin burn. Like my father-in-law is pretty dark. Like when y'all look at Sam, y'all see the manifestation of my wife's family. You know what I'm saying? When y'all see it, like he gets this darker tinge at points in times. And that's essentially reflective of that. But then you get my daughter, she looks like my auntie. And they're very light. Now I'm a little bit darker than them, but I've been out in the sun for football season. Probably lighting up maybe about a month or two.
You dark. You be swearing.
Well, they get a little solution.
Dark skin.
But what I was saying is that the dark skin gene is the dominant gene. The black gene is the dominant gene throughout. That's just the period. That's science. It is what it is.
Okay, well, let's do a little solution based. What are some of the solutions or some of the ways that, and I'm not saying color is a bad thing, that we can, I guess, we can debunk the idea that no matter your dark skin or your light skin, that you still beautiful, you still, whatever the case may be. But what are some of the ways that we can deal with positive way we can deal with colorism? Let's start with you, Playmaker.
I think one of the things is we need to collectively understand when we may be offensive to someone. When we're talking about colorism, whether it's a dark skin for a about a light skinned person or vice versa, I think that this is a form of our own PTSD that we've carried on from generation to generation. And I think that we need to start addressing it and start healing ourselves. And I think once we internally understand and heal ourselves, then we can start working on the bigger problem. But I think as long as we still create division amongst ourselves, it's just going to be something that just continue to carry on from generation to generation.
Q, what you think?
I think stop worrying about other people's skin tones, love your neighbor, and get your money.
Yes. I love it. I love
it. Amen. All right, Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey man, I ain't no big colorism. I love all people. I'm on that Martin Luther King. I judge you for the content of your character more than the color of your skin. That's just me. But for us to really solve the problem, we just have to learn how to look beyond what a skin color is and look at a person's heart. Look at how they treat you. Look at their integrity and the way that they carry themselves. And that's more important than anything else to me.
T.
I think we have to recognize the history of it. We have to let people know the history of it. I was watching hip hop, Ladies of Hip Hop today. And what amazed me in the last episode, because it's like a 4-part series, 4 or 5-part series, was that one thing that amazed me is in 1996, Lauryn Hill was the first hip hop dark skinned natural headed woman on every aspect of every magazine, from Vogue to People to hip hop magazines ever. 1996. And so that's a problem. But at the same time, what I loved about the episodes is that once they wrapped it all up, they paid homage. And every sister said the same thing, from Bahamadia to Nicki Minaj, that we're in this game together and we have to help each other out sometimes. We can be, have beef on the record, but in life, it's a unity. This is a sisterhood. It's not a lot of us. And so we have to hold on to what we got and make each other stronger so we can quit and say, get this bag. Like the men have been getting the bag. And so I think if we just can get together, like G said, have a conversation like adults and say, look, this is a PTSS that we need to break. This is an ancestral curse we need to break. It don't matter if you light, if you dark. When you get pulled over by the cops, what are you? You black.
Facts. So guys, this for me, this is not a show, and we talk about colorism, and the whole colorism series. It wasn't black. It wasn't us trying to. I wasn't designing it or want to talk to the Caucasian or anybody other race. This conversation was to our race. We are a beautiful people, from blue, black to high yellow. We are beautiful people. Once we learn to love each other on every aspect of the plane, or as a community, then we can go out and see progress outside the community. Sometimes we even talk bad to other groups about our own people. We even put our own people down. I ain't gonna hire him, but he look a little rough. He look a little aggressive. We gotta. So when we talk about this agenda with colorism, it wasn't a message to other minority groups. It was a message to our own people to start loving one another, start accepting and appreciating our beauty. I don't like last I don't care if you midnight or you albino. We still part of the same family. But okay, guys, that's with colorism, man. I thank everybody for the input. Thank you, Playmaker, for hey man, I'm giving you the last word because it was your work and your vision. You put a button on this thing, and we can move on to something else.
Um, wow. Okay. So, colorism, like I think we kind of summed up, is an internal problem within our community that caused division, and I think we need to address that. And then I think that, like what everybody said, let's not focus on the color, but focus on the person's character and just move forward.
Good stuff, good stuff. So we got a few minutes left. So hey, so little. I know I always say we all strip, but so be it. Hey, August 5th, 2023. August 5th, guys, of 2023. It may not be in everybody's history books, but it's gonna be sketched in the history books of people down in Alabama on a riverboat. So we all know what happened, but I guess I give you the highlights. The pontoon boat pulled in the way. The director told them to leave a couple times. They didn't want to leave. The guy, the young man working, did his job, asked them to leave. They still didn't leave. Started an altercation. The white people on the boat got off the boat, beat up the brother. As it beating up the brother threw the hat in the air, and everybody came to his rescue. Toya, what's your thoughts on the riverboat?
The Montgomery Tea Party.
The riverboat tea party. What's
something? We're not tired. It's hot. You not following directions. All you had to do was move. It's too hot. Sorry, when the hat went up, that was it for me. When the brother started swimming across, I was like, hey, I want to be down. I'm ready. I feel like, they might stop. They might stop in their tracks and be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this today. Because you're not built for it.
What's your thoughts, Playmaker?
I have mixed emotions about this, and we kind of talked about it. I was disappointed that two men could not resolve an issue peacefully and that it had to escalate to violence. I think that was really disappointing that's where we are with society. And then the other part, I'm glad that it didn't turn out to just be a beatdown of one man. I'm glad that people came to his aid. We've seen so many times where there's a unfair advantage and people just kind of turn the other way or walk and do nothing and leave a person to suffer, or in some cases even die. So I'm glad that the community came to his defense, but I'm disappointed that two men could not resolve a conflict peacefully, that it had to escalate to violence.
Q.
I have words from some famous poets in our day. Nuck if you buck. Won't start no. Won't be no. Move. Get out of the way. And I'm always ready too. Y'all can't see the chair. I'm ready.
I
right
can
now.
see it.
All right, Jay, what's your thoughts, man?
I'm more stressed about that we should be afforded the opportunity to feel safe in our communities. And what I mean by that is the gentleman was just doing his job. and he was essentially assaulted. And that's a concept we always hear about in our communities. But yet, instead, it took place in this affluent community because, you got to have some money to have a boat. Right? So the core issue that I feel is the problem, it's not necessarily black, it's accountability. And it's accountability for when certain behaviors are shown and the fact that they shouldn't have felt so comfortable with resorting in violence. That to me is a problem.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. When I looked there, I had a little mixed feelings. I'm about to get it. We can't, two grown adults should be able to solve or solve issues. But just do what you asked to do. But then a problem, part of me said that's certain people's privilege that they feel like I'm better than you and I can do what I want to do to you. And over the years, that's what we've been shown. I mean, think about it. We look back over what's been shown on our TV sets. It always been shown that the black man's on the bottom of the totem pole, getting beat up or getting shot or getting tased or getting whipped. So that's sad. What but and Malcolm and my brother, Minister Malcolm X, he said it was a clip. He said, and he said it's in 1960. It's gonna come a day where blacks will gonna wake up, and once they wake up and find out who they are, they gonna feel compassion, not just to themselves, but to their other brother. They say, we're not gonna stand for that no more. We're not gonna allow you to beat us down no more. We're not gonna allow you to mistreat us no more. And when we do that, and only when we do that, can't nobody help us. But when Black Race started to do that, I think that we're headed in the right direction. I hope it's not a glimpse in the matrix. The energy is there, so we need to keep that same energy. All right, guys, I did want to add that little bit in. We got the last word. Toya, your last thoughts of the night.
Tell you, my last thoughts of the night. It's happening. Sometimes you have a moment. It's okay to have a moment, and it's okay not to be okay. Just keep breathing and smiling. Next day will always get better. That's it.
You're not allowed to mention the most shows, but we'll talk about that in your contract. We'll get the people. We'll get the right people on the contract to talk about that. Playmaker, last word, sir.
Mine is actually a quote, and it's do not remove the kink from your hair, remove them from your brain. Marcus Garvey.
Okay, nice. Q.
Mine is not a quote. However, it may raise some cane over here. Not all elders deserve your respect.
Mm.
Whoever said respect your elders, we are past that. You earn respect. It's not just given. Don't care if you 2 or 102.
Okay. RJ.
Education is optional. Learning is eternal.
Hmm.
Always be in the mode to be willing to learn.
Hey guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with this, and I think we did great. We wind it down. We're a couple of minutes. We wind it down. Success is a mindset. Success is a mindset. I read this. I was reading. They're doing the self-help, but I was reading this quote, and this guy said, "I'm never down. I'm either up or I'm getting up."
Hmm.
Hey guys, we had a great show on that note. Like always, may your next move be the game changer, guys. Much love, peace.